So friends, let's start with today's lovely Chana Doce recipe. Now here I've taken about 1.5 cup of Chana Dal. I've washed it thrice well under running water, and then we are going to soak it in about 3 cups of water for at least 5 to 6 hours. Now in the meantime, you can make some elaichi or cardamom powder. I've just taken 4 elaichis, peeled them and just made them into a powder in my mortar and pestle. This comes to about 1 teaspoon of elaichi powder. Now I'm going to transfer the soaked dal along with the water that we had soaked it in into a pressure pan. I'm going to add a pinch of salt, stir it in well, and then we're going to pressure cook this for 1 whistle on high and simmer for 10 minutes. Once the pressure pan is completely cooled, you'll see that the dal is nice and cooked, so you will just smash it down to so that it's easier for us to grind it to a smooth paste. Now since we had soaked the dal, it cooks really very fast. Now I'm going to transfer this mashed dal to a mixer and I'm going to blend it to a very smooth paste. This is the consistency of the paste we are looking for. Now I'm also going to grind 3 cups of freshly grated coconut in the mixer. No water has to be added. This is how the ground coconut will look. Now I'm going to grease a baking tray, or you can use a regular tray with some ghee. And you can keep this aside. Now I'm going to add the cooked dal to a heavy bottomed pan. I'm also going to add the ground grated coconut. I'm going to mix both of them really well together. Now I'm cooking this on a low flame. I'm also going to add 2 cups of sugar and start stirring everything on a low to medium flame. I'm also going to add the elaichi powder or the cardamom powder and mix it in well. Now I'm just going to do a taste test just to see if the sugar is right, or if I need to add more sugar. Now I felt I needed to add a little bit of salt, so I just added a little salt to taste. And now we just have to stir this on a low to medium flame. Now after some time, about 3 or 4 minutes, you'll find that the mixture thickens and also it darkens in color. So just keep stirring this. So I timed myself in the entire process till it actually was ready. It took me about 15 minutes. I'm also using a wooden spoon with a long handle because it does tend to splutter a bit. Scrape off the sides also and keep stirring. Now you'll find after some time that the mixture becomes very difficult to stir. It becomes really stiff. But when you stir it, you see that it leaves the sides of the pan as well as the base of the pan very easily. So we are almost there. Now I'm just going to add about a tablespoon of ghee to this. And this makes the mixture really nice and smooth, and you're able to stir everything together. Plus it adds a lovely flavor also. So now you can turn off the gas flame and just with the residue heat, just keep stirring it for about another half a minute or so. Now we're going to transfer this mixture onto the grease tray. You can even use a plate also, a steel plate. And now we're going to add a few drops of ghee, about say half a teaspoon or a teaspoon, and just flatten it out now using a spatula and just bring it to the thickness of the tray. It should be about half an inch of thickness, and then just smoothen the top of it with a spatula like this. The mixture is extremely hot, so be careful. And I'm just going to take a knife and just make this design just on the surface of the dough. Now generally it does have this design. If you see the dough, it has some diagonal lines, fine lines on it. Don't go all through to the base, just on the top. It's just a kind of a design. And now we're going to keep this covered with a dry kitchen cloth. I'm going to cover and keep this overnight or for at least 10 hours to set. That's very important that you set this for at least 10 hours. So after 10 hours, you'll see that the dose is all set, and you'll find the top of it has hardened and set. It's not soft anymore. And then just cut it into the the traditional diamond shape that the dose normally has, and it will look like this. So our chana dose is all ready to enjoy. You'll see that the top of it has hardened, whereas the center and the base is still soft and smooth. That's how the consistency should be. Now you can store this in an airtight container, and for a day or two, and then refrigerate it after that, preferably. And whenever you want to serve it, just thaw it for about 15 minutes, or just keep it out at room temperature for 15 minutes.